Welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is how to configure a nested virtualization. I have Windows 10 Professional installed. This is not a virtual machine. So I have two virtual machines installed, Domain Controller 2 and Domain Controller 1. So let's try to install the Hyper-V role on this Domain Controller 2. It's up and running right here, Domain Controller 2 on my Windows 10. So we're gonna go to Manage, Add Roles and Features. Let's test it first. Is it gonna let me install it or not? Hyper-V right here, click add the required features, and now wait for the message. It's probably denying. There we go. So validation results. Why? Because Hyper-V cannot be installed. The processor does not have required virtualization capability. How to fix this one? So the first thing, let's cancel this one, and we need to turn off this virtual machine. So just shut down the virtual machine, and after that, what we're gonna do is we go to the setting. Just waiting until it shuts off. There we go, turn off. We go to the setting. There's a couple options you need to change. So first, let's go to the memory. So this dynamic memory, it's usually by default it's on. So, or you can turn it on and off. It's not by default, but you make sure it's off. So the second one, go to the network adapter, go to advanced feature and enable MAC address spoofing. And then go to the processor, at least make sure the number of virtual processors are 2. So just click OK. So we're good now. And now we need to expose the physical CPU to the virtual CPU, and that was the result that that we couldn't install the role on the virtual machine. So you need to expose the the physical CPU to the virtual CPU, which is running on this virtual machine. So we're gonna do it with PowerShell. We're gonna open PowerShell, right click, administrator, click yes. Okay, so we have 3 commands. So we're going to use those 3 commands to expose the CPU. It's very easy. So let's see which let's see how many virtual machines I have. Get-vm, enter. So I have my domain controller 1 and 2, and then we're gonna verify that the CPU is exposed or not. So get-vm processor -vm name. Then I go with my domain controller 2. Then I'm gonna pipe the output to the format -list then star, which shows everything. There we go. So my concern is about this parameter. It says expose virtualization extension, which is the value false. That means it's not exposed. So we're going to modify that false value to true value. How we're going to do it? So we have another command, set-vmprocessor -vmname domain controller 2, then dash, and now I'm going to copy and paste this parameter, edit, copy, and go back to edit and hit paste. And now the value, we're going to modify the false to true. So $, true, hit enter. There we go. So we're done so far. So we're going to go back to we're not going to go back, we're going to actually verify. We go back to the same command that get-vmprocessor and hit enter, and we're going to check. Here we go. It says extension expose virtualization virtual CPU. And now we go back to the virtual machine, turn it on, and try again to install the Hyper-V role. I'm going to hit connect, then hit start. It's going to take a couple minutes to come online, and I'm gonna stop the recording and come back when it's ready. There we go. My domain controller 2 is up and running. It's online. So now we go back to manage and add roles and features to install the Hyper-V role. See what happens this time. So click next, role based or feature, next. So this is my domain controller 2, next. There we go. We click on the Hyper-V role, and I shouldn't get that message this time. Click and add the required features and wait. Here we go. So I did not get the same message that I got earlier. It says your processor is not virtualized. I mean, it doesn't have the virtualization capability, but now it does because I just exposed my CPU, physical CPU, to the virtual CPU, which is running on this domain controller virtual machine. So now click next, click next, click next. I go back, I click Ethernet, turn on my Ethernet, click next, and I'm gonna go with the default location, click next, and restart is definitely required for this role. So I click restart, yes, then install it. There we go. So at this point, so I exposed my CPU and I'm able to install this Hyper-V role to configure nested virtualization. And we're gonna wait until the installation is completed. It's gonna take a couple of minutes probably because it's a virtual machine. It's a little bit slower. So anyway, so as you can see, I'm able to install it. Here we go, and it's restart is required, and it's restarting my virtual machine, and it says working on updates. So probably some updates, then it's gonna come up again. All right, so we're all set. And thank you for watching and supporting my channel. If this demonstration helped you, so please push the thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.